Guys, if you guys were at all wondering if this hurts, it does. So, I just got it done yesterday. So, you know the pain. Hey guys, it's Wahima, but just call me Wah.
Melanated!
Welcome to another episode of Hate Watch The Bachelorette with me. As most of you know, if you watched my last two videos on The Bachelorette, this is my very first time watching any season of The Bachelor or The Bachelorette. So I'm hate watching it because it's not a competition reality show that I would normally watch. I really do hate this like fake love or whatever. And it's just so contrived, but millions of Americans love this show. And so I want to watch it and see what all the hype is about. So this episode 3 of this season, Rachel is the Bachelorette. She is the first Black Bachelorette, and congratulations to her. Now, in this episode, I'm really starting to see Rachel as a person and not just a contestant or a bachelorette. So as we left off last week, DeMario got kicked off because he lied about having a girlfriend or dating this girl, and the girl came on the show and acted a bloody fool, and Rachel immediately kicked him off the show. And at the end of last week's episode, he showed up at the mansion at the gate wanting to speak with Rachel. And so she was like, okay, I'll go out and talk to him, and all the guys were all riled up because they were like, nah, get out of here, like, blah, blah, blah. So she goes out and talks to him, and DeMario comes up with this like quintessential lion-ass person sort of speech. He makes some sort of quote, and I didn't even write it down because it was so dumb. He's just like, I just can't let you go. You know, there's this quote that if you don't go through something hard, then you're not gonna know. Some like stupid quote that like fuckboys give. And Rachel handled it like a G. I mean, she basically was like, I'm so glad that you got the clarity that you needed, but moving forward is not moving this way into the mansion. Moving forward is for you to turn around and go out that way. And I was like, yes. Yes! DeMario, this is so contrived and stupid. I don't know if the producers put him up to it. I don't know if the producers knew he had a girlfriend. I just want to know the real behind the scene tea, because I do believe that Rachel didn't know about any of this, and I think it's just like the producers setting this whole scenario up. I mean, and for it to happen so early in the season, it's like, whoa. I mean, I guess I just thought that I don't know how this thing works. I don't know how many weeks there are. I don't know how many people go off every week. I don't know. So I'm just watching this for the first time like, oh my gosh, you could just kick people off like in the middle of the show? Like, that's crazy. So then the next thing that is a shocker, not really, is the whole beef between Blake and Lucas. And I thought that they were going to make her keep Lucas, the Waboom guy. I thought they were going to make her keep him on the show for much longer, and they didn't, and I was so happy that she was allowed to let his dumb ass go because it was just so stupid. Like, she wasn't going to be with him, right? And then Blake, silly Blake, I mean, I thought they were going to let him stay, but she rolled them both up in a stupid burrito and threw them both out. Like, and I think it's good for Blake. Like I said, I thought he shouldn't have brought out that information about knowing Lucas so soon because it wasn't the right time, but he was ready to like throw Lucas under the bus and get him out of this show right away. He was so pressed about Lucas, which, I mean, I guess I would be too if I was competing to win a competition and you knew somebody on there was like fake AF, you know? I guess I would be as well. I mean, Lucas even went so far as to try to say that Blake was gay, that, like, Blake liked him because he was standing over his bed eating a banana. Like, what are you talking about? Like, that was the dumbest lie I've ever heard in my life. Like, and then he's, like, in there, like, during the confessional of when they both got kicked out, crying. Not crying, but, like, being like, man, it really sucks. Like, the world doesn't get to see Waboom. Just like, what are you talking about? Poor Blake. I did like him, but, you know, he was a simp for trying to get into some drama with some other dude, so bye to him, too. And I'm so glad that she, like, let them both go because of that. I mean, just the sound bites of Blake and Lucas going back and forth, talking shit about each other. It was just so... I mean, it was just so contrived and dumb, and I was over it. Like, the first couple sound bites I was okay with, but, like, the entire sequence of them going back and forth how much they hated each other was just so overkill. Thanks, producers. Then they went on a group date. Ellen, the Ellen DeGeneres show, which I have a, like, you know, I have friends who've had run-ins with Ellen in real life, and, like, you know... The outfit she wore on Ellen was so cute, girl. I was like, yes, they finally got her in. Like, she was just so cute. I like her daytime outfits. And I mean, I'm just going to be rating all the outfits differently because sometimes it's a hit and sometimes it's a miss, girl. So Ellen game was fun. She had the guys take off their shirts and go into the audience and dance. And the Russian dude had a really good time. Kenny was strutting his stuff, doing what he needed to do. And you can clearly see that there were some people who couldn't dance. And I feel like if you can't dance, then you might not be able to do other things. That was cute, and then they had some really clever banter with Ellen, and the Russian guy was really fun. I really liked his energy throughout the whole thing, and I know I said that his parents were probably racist, and I still think I might be right. So after that, they had their night date, the group night date. And finally, Fred, like, realized that he's the only person who hasn't really kissed Rachel, and he was starting to feel behind, and he was, like, a little sad and morose, because he was like, I keep on thinking, you know, I feel bad that she keeps thinking of me as this bad little kid, and I feel like, why is she judging me for being a little kid? I mean, because that's her first impression of you, dude. Like, that's why. But anyway, so she ended up kicking Fred off because they had made out, and it wasn't good. She felt like it was a little kid kissing her. Shade, Rachel. And she sent Fred home in the middle of the date. Like, and she even picked up the rose and took him to the back, like she was about to give him the rose. So everybody thought, including the audience, that she was about to give Fred this rose. And then she ended up not giving him the rose. Like, she just faked everybody out. She was like, psych, ooh, you moted. And sent Fred on his way. And he was sad. And I was sad for him because he was so sad. And I was like, oh, Fred, you're bad. That pantsuit she was wearing was real cute. I didn't like the top, but you know what I'm saying? Like, it was cute. It was cute. Anthony, oh my God. So Anthony was one of the people. Anthony and Will were two people that I thought were boring. And I still think Will is boring, but maybe they're going to give him his opportunity. Anthony, they had that date. Okay, first sometimes like this show, you like, ooh, Rachel's so real. She's doing what she needs to do. She's a real mama. And then like there's scenes like this where her date with Anthony, where they have both of them on horses riding down Rodeo Drive. Girl, don't nobody get on horses riding down Rodeo Drive going into stop shopping. Like, that, I mean, that's so ridiculous. Like, that is so ridiculous. And as they were going down the street, you can tell how many people love this show. People are screaming, oh my God, it's Rachel. We love you, Rachel. And I was like, oh, good for her. That's so great and cute. She's like a national icon or something. I have just not been on the Bachelorette or Bachelor tip. I don't know about these people. America loves them. And so they go into a store. They go into 3 different stores, I believe, and they buy a couple things, or they just are given things for free promo. Girl, they didn't buy that stuff. That was really cute. And then they had their late night date, and their date at night was like a skyline view of Los Angeles, and it was so beautiful. And like, I like Anthony. He's real low key. He's tall. He's quiet. He's strong. I just really liked the way he talked about family. And I liked how, like, they were just all booed up. I could see them together. I mean, he does seem a little boring, but he's like the strong, silent type, and that's interesting to me. The next day, she went on another group date with other guys, and my boy Kenny was in the group, girl. You know, I love me some Kenny. And they did mud wrestling. The mud wrestling was cool, but there were some things yelled out to the guys at the mud wrestling that I found to be, as a feminist, sexist. You know, because as a feminist, I feel like both sides should be equal, right? And if women are going to be watching men roll around in mud and then on national TV say, show us your junk, let me see that butt. I just feel like if that were the opposite, if it were men saying that to women, it would be really gross. And so for me, it's really gross that women are saying that to men. Now, if you were at a strip club, on a bachelorette party, on a strip club in Vegas, and you're yelling that out to the guys, like, that's the environment for that. But on national TV, I'm just a little bit like, and they're just mud wrestling, and they're regular dudes. They're not strippers, and that's not a part of their job, and it's not a part of the fantasy of their job. So, like, it was just a little too much for me, and I thought it was a little miss for me with the producers, being a feminist and wanting men and women to be equal. So yeah, Eric is ridiculous. Eric is like letting his insecurities show because he does not know how to play this game. He is a fish out of water, and he was telling everybody his business. And of course they were going to throw him under the bus. That's his bad. He's like, oh, worry about you, don't worry about me. No, this is a competition. Everyone is in competition with each other. And if they can get a leg up on someone based on what that person is saying or what they heard, of course they're going to do it, Eric. Stop being stupid. And then he's over there yelling at these white men. Like, girl, Eric. He's over there yelling at these men, grown-ass men, like, keep my name out your mouth. Like, no. I'm sure Kenny, I'm sure Diggy, I'm sure Anthony, Will, I'm sure all these other men feel the same way, but nobody's over here yelling. I mean, come on. You don't know the stereotype, bruh? You don't keep my name out your mouth? That's ridiculous. You're being ridiculous. Talking about his doubts, having that group meeting and yelling, like calling again a group meeting. Like, Lee's gonna come. I think it's Lee, the one who's being the antagonist in this one. But I think Lee is like seeing his weakness and it's gonna exploit it. If he knows that he can make Eric yell and get upset, he's going to do it. I would. If I knew that there was a powder keg in the group and all I had to do was just look at them or like make comments and they would get upset, I would do it because you're taking the bait and you're an idiot. Get out of here. He's like, oh, do you think Rachel's really serious about this? It doesn't matter if Rachel is serious about this or not. She's the Bachelorette. This is her show. Anyways, That's just how I feel about that. I feel like he's being a real baby about the whole situation for no reason. Yeah, I'm really starting to like the show. I see some things that I think are like, bleh, and I see some things that are just like, oh, and Rachel really like stepped up for me this episode, and I'm here for it. I mean, it's fake, you know what I'm saying? But like, I'm into it. I'm into it. And I really hope she finds somebody that she could at least date for a while. I'm here for Anthony. So let me say my top 5 now for the end of this episode. Oh, and you know who they didn't talk about is Josiah. Josiah was not in this episode at all. I thought he got kicked off. Maybe he's okay. I don't know. I just felt like he was really playing the game and I wasn't into it. I want somebody who's a little bit more subtle. But anyways, here's my top 5. Anthony, Kenny, Brian, Peter, and the Russian guy. I think the Russian guy's name is Alex. So those are my top 5 for this episode. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please leave a comment down below and let me know who you think your top 5 are. And I'll see you next week. Bye!